Break even at 80. If you are preparing to claim these government benefits, you have almost certainly heard that phrase. It is the math equation your bank or financial planner hands you to help you decide when to start taking your money. The underlying numbers are simple enough. For most people retiring today, full retirement age is 67. If you decide to claim at the earliest possible age, 62, the government takes a 30% haircut off your monthly check. That reduction is permanent. It follows you for the rest of your life. On the other hand, if you wait past 67, the government gives you a delayed retirement credit. Every year you hold off, your monthly benefit grows by 8%. Delay all the way to age 70, and your monthly check is roughly 77% larger than the one you would have received at 62. This chart shows how those two choices play out over time. The person who claims at 62 gets an 8-year head start on collecting smaller checks. The person who waits until 70 collects a much larger check, but they have to play catch-up. If you track the total dollars paid out, the two lines cross perfectly right around your 80th birthday. Researchers at the National Bureau of Economic Research tested how people react to this exact visual. When people see this break-even framing, with the early claimer appearing to win for 18 straight years, it pushes them hard toward claiming early. You have to consider who usually shows you this math. Very often, it is a financial planner or a bank whose fees are tied to managing your taxable brokerage accounts. If you claim Social Security early, you leave more of your own money invested with them for longer. The arithmetic on the page is correct, but presenting it this way is a behavioral trap. It strips out all the variables of a real human life and reduces a massive financial decision to a perfectly symmetrical equation. That perfect symmetry relies on one massive assumption, that you will die at the exact national average life expectancy, an average that includes people who never made it out of their 50s. The moment you introduce real personal data, the math breaks. If you exercise, if your blood pressure is normal, or if your parents lived in the 90s, you possess an advantage over the government's actuarial table. You have an edge, and that edge tilts the math aggressively toward waiting. This chart shows the exact same data as before, but zoomed out to reveal the payout totals after age 80. The break-even intersection is a single moment in time, but look at the slope of divergence after the lines cross. If you were an average earner and you lived to 85, the person who waited until 70 has now collected roughly $96,000 more in lifetime benefits than the person who claimed at 62. Let the timeline run to age 90, which is increasingly common for healthy adults today. The gap widens to about $170,000. If you live to 95, the difference between the two choices balloons past $250,000. The traditional framing fixates on the intersection point, while completely ignoring this six-figure reality on the right side of the graph. There is another layer to this that the chart hides entirely. Between ages 67 and 70, delaying your claim earns you a guaranteed, inflation-adjusted 8% annual return on your base benefit. When we look at this S&P 500 chart, those jagged red and green spikes represent the extreme volatility you have to stomach to chase an 8% return in the stock market. The Social Security delayed credit gives you that return by contract, backed by the federal government, on a base amount you cannot lose. Yet, during the 2008 financial crisis, the percentage of people claiming early jumped dramatically. Hundreds of thousands of healthy people panicked at plunging portfolios and permanently locked themselves into smaller lifetime checks because of temporary market fear. For married couples, that panic creates a secondary shockwave. When one spouse dies, the surviving spouse automatically steps up to whichever of the two household benefits was larger. If the higher earner claims at 62 and locks in a 30% penalty, they are also permanently shrinking the monthly survivor check their widow or widower will have to rely on for the rest of their life. The break-even calculation is silent on all of this. It visually erases the value of a guaranteed return, and it ignores the financial security of the person who outlives you. The real choice you are making has almost nothing to do with finding a mathematically perfect break-even point. It is a problem of asymmetric risk. This visual represents the first risk. You wait until age 70 to claim your maximum benefit, but you unexpectedly die at 72. Your household misses out on roughly $95,000 of benefits you could have collected starting at 62. But look at the opposite risk. You claim early at 62, live past 90, and permanently miss out on $250,000, shrinking your income right when your medical and care costs are peaking. If you have zero savings, If you have lost your job, or if you have a known serious health condition, claiming at 62 is absolutely the right move. The money is there for you to use. But for healthy, financially stable individuals, the outcomes of being wrong are not equal. Leaving some uncollected money on the table when you pass away at 72 is a footnote. Running out of money when you are 85 is a tragedy. You are a human being, not a casino balancing expected value. If you have the health and the savings to wait, use your advantage. Stop letting a sterile, symmetrical chart dictate your future.